What's up guys, welcome back to another Techie Setup video, as today we are talking about the differences between two of my favorite smartwatches that I have been using for the past few months. We have here the Amazfit T-Rex 2 and the Amazfit GTR 3. I really like the design of both. I believe they are the best smartwatches you can get right now for the price, and it's great that you can use the same Zep app, so you can wear the T-Rex 2 when biking for example, and then you can switch to the GTR 3 at the office. Let's directly compare these to see if there are any major differences besides the aesthetics. Please note that this comparison is not sponsored in any way, as I have bought the watches from my own money. I will try to keep this video short, but there are a lot of details to cover, so let's get right into it. First, let's talk about the design and build quality. Both of them are good quality watches, and the T-Rex 2 has a case with a standard military A110G certification and a plastic back, while the GTR 3 has an aluminum body with a plastic backplate. Both have customizable metal buttons on the right side, but the T-Rex 2 also features buttons on the left side that let you navigate the watch menus. The GTR 3 looks more like an elegant watch, while the T-Rex 2 borrows the rugged design from the G-Shock watches. Of course, the GTR 3 is slightly slimmer at 10.8mm versus the 13.65mm for the T-Rex 2. None of them have a speaker and a microphone, but there is a GTR 3 Pro which also takes phone calls, and together with a slightly larger screen is the only technical difference between it and the vanilla GTR 3. If you don't need this feature, I suggest getting the non-Pro version, as the battery lasts longer. But we'll talk more about that later. Both show colors while vibrating, and you can also deny or reply with a predefined message. Now let's talk about the screen. Both watches have the same display specifications, a 1.39-inch screen with a resolution of 455 by 455 pixels, so the fonts and graphics look really sharp. They only have tempered glass protection, but the T-Rex 2 has a raised bezel that protects the screen more. One perceivable difference is that the notifications, text, for example emails or reminders, look bigger on the T-Rex 2, while the GTR fits more on the screen. I prefer smaller text, but it is what it is. Now talking about the straps, both have silicone straps, but the T-Rex 2 straps cannot be removed as it features some kind of proprietary screws. The quality is very good, so both watches were comfortable to wear even during the night, with a weight of 66.5 grams for the T-Rex 2 and a much lighter 32 grams for the GTR 3. Okay, now let's talk about the software and the menus on the watches. For every smartwatch that I have owned, the menu style tries to mimic the one of a smartphone, with the traditional pull-up or down drawers for notifications and quick toggles to watch settings. Also, left or right screens are for checking different widgets and stats. Both watches work on the same principle, so nothing new here. In fact, the menus have a great design, as you can see, and the widgets are nice. All this while the interface navigation is silky smooth with no stutters. For button usage, on the T-Rex 2 we have an up and down buttons on the left side, which can also be customized on long press. While on the right side, the top one gets you to the workout menu on single press and the customized action on long press. Bottom one is the back button that cannot be customized. For the GTR 3, pressing the top button takes you to the main menu, while the other button is also customizable. I like the fact that the top button is also a scroll wheel and makes navigating the cards and menus so much fun. If you get used to it, you will look for this feature in every other smartwatch you will buy. While sliding from the top opens the notification shade for both watches. On the newer Zep OS 2, featured on the T-Rex 2, sliding up from the bottom does not bring the notifications like on the GTR 3, but instead shows the information cards. So, not sure why Amazfit have swapped these two actions on the Zep OS in the GTR 3 versus the Zep OS 2 on the T-Rex 2. None of these watches feature NFC payments, as Amazfit still has no license to integrate it in the Europe zone. Please keep that in mind if this is a deal breaker for you. There seems to be some minor differences in the software features. For example, the T-Rex 2 has a toggle for alarm and compass that I really like, while not sure why it's missing and cannot be set on the GTR 3. Another omission from the T-Rex 2 is the smart alarm that is present on the older GTR 3, an alarm that can wake you up based on the sleep stage you're in. The rest of the menus are similar. Let's move on to the sensors. Both watches feature an ambient light sensor, accelerometer, gyro, compass, barometer, heart rate and SpO2 sensors. As far as tracking workouts, both support dual-band GPS and GLONASS and get very fast GPS signals. Depending on where you are, they can acquire the GPS signal from as fast as 3 seconds. I have used them both to track my workouts, and as far as battery life goes, the T-Rex 2 will get you around 6 to 7 days with daily 1 hour outside workouts using the GPS like biking, running or walking, and also notifications and the always-on display active. The GTR 3 will take you to 5 days battery life with always-on and tracking workouts daily. This is understandable as the T-Rex 2 does feature a larger battery of 500 mAh compared to the 450 mAh on the GTR 3. If we switch off the always-on display and have the same daily tracking of activities of at least 1 hour per day with GPS, the T-Rex 2 will take you to 11 days on a single charge and the GTR 3 to around 10 days. So only without GPS workouts, both watches will last around 14 to 15 days with AOD off. Do also take into account that if you also wear them during the night for sleep tracking, it will draw another 3 to 5% extra battery per night. I actually tracked sleeping with the watches and both were pretty similarly accurate, and they also track your naps. So even though Amazfit advertised 24 days of standby time with the T-Rex 2, I only got 2 weeks most of the time. As far as charging goes, both have the standard 2-pin magnetic charger and it charges the watches pretty quickly in under 2 hours. I will not compare workout results as they both are mostly similar each time I have tested. When tracking walking, running or biking, both watches showed similar instant heart rate, average HR and distance. Also, the GPS tracking seems accurate and similar too. I love the fact that they are keeping the data on screen always visible, even dimmed, but still readable. Easy to see they have been inspired by Garmin design in this case. Both watches use the same Zepp app, an excellent software for managing watch settings, workouts, sleep tracking, watch faces and so on. The app provides very detailed metrics and guidance. Note that for running workouts, I can confirm that VO2 max can be tracked with both the T-Rex 2 and the GTR 3. There is also the PAI feature as we have on the Mi Bands to show how active you are every day. There is a mention to be made here and it's actually a downside. The forums are full of this discussion and I don't understand why Amazfit does not provide a solution. When switching watches, the Zepp app syncs everything except one important thing, which is the training load. So every time you switch to a new watch, you must activate it from the app for sync and the training load resets to 0. This is not ideal as the watch basically has to be trained again for 1-2 weeks to measure your actual progress and load based on your workout metrics. I hope maybe Amazfit can fix this in a future update. As a conclusion, these are my currently favorite watches, but if I would have to pick only one of these watches new, I would pick the GTR 3 watch as it simply is amazing on how feature-rich a smartwatch can be for around 100 euros. The T-Rex 2 costs 200 euros and I think it's a little bit too expensive for no real features over the GTR 3. You would be better off getting the GTR 4 for that price maybe, but if you like the rugged G-Shock look, then the T-Rex 2 is the watch for you as it will not disappoint. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about these watches, and of course if you found this video helpful, hit that like and subscribe buttons for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next one.